Actually,
yeah.
I've got a link to that.
I'm going to put something. We are going. Yet, give me a second. Where is that? Huh? Oh, I lose it. Everything. Oh, yet. And good morning or good evening where you are. I think when you are in Australia is good evening. When you are in Europe is good morning. And we are today with a very special guest, one of the old YouTubers in around the world for our community, electric community, Jay Boston. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, thanks, mate. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to all, good evening, really, to those in Australia. I can see Chex here as well, and Scotty from Australia, ASE skater. I can see some familiar faces already popping in, so it's good to see. How are you over in Germany, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay. The lockdown is a little bad. We're talking in private, but I think we have to have hopes that everything is going to be fine. I'm going to start with the first question. That is very simple. The new look.
Yeah.
You like, I see lots of guys in internet, like you see here, Arnold Schwarzenegger and something like that.
I had nothing to do with Schwarzenegger, that's for sure. No, hey, Danny Black, I can see he thinks it's a replay. I am right here. That's in your comments. Yeah, no, I took probably 2.5 months off, not intentionally, but I got to a point where, you know, this COVID stuff was going pretty crazy. I'd been locked in this space right here now, working day and night to produce YouTube videos and also obviously do my own work. What I do is just run a digital agency. I've done that now for almost 20 years, which is a little bit crazy in itself. But I think, I just wanted to take a break and reevaluate. And yeah, like you were saying too, before we started, Nelson, that people online can be quite brutal. And some of the things in the past that I've done, not intentionally, made people doubt who I was and what my intentions were and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, there's 2 or 3 major ones out there that everybody knows about. I'm like, I just thought, let's stop. And I had to look through all the comments. I had to look at what people were saying. And some of it, it was honest, believable. And, I didn't take offense to it. I'm like, okay, I need to change my ways. There's a lot of stuff in my YouTube videos as well. Like I just say off the cuff, stats, how fast things can go or whatever. And it's all just in my head. And most of the time, 70% of the time it's right, 30% of it's wrong. So with what I'm trying to do with the channel now is to make sure that what I get out there is accurate, and developed a thick skin. And the reason why I've gone with more of a military style is to show that, this personal electric vehicle movement that's going on right now, it's not a hobby. It's not just going to come and go like yo-yos or something, Tamagotchis or, things like that. This is going to be hanging around a while because it not only helps people get to where they want to go, it can help with mental issues. It can help with climate change. It can help with a whole bunch of different stuff. So that's where I think, I want to all those people out there that think that, I'm a bit of a rough nut or, I'm not who I say I am, then that's where I'm like, yep, I'm going to armor up. I can take the heat. I can take all the negative criticism. It's going to be, water off a duck's back, basically, and I'll produce content for those that want to watch it. And so like I've got the camo stuff up in here and I've developed more of a character now. It's still me, obviously, but wearing armored stuff. Sometimes the lazy rolling hoodies and stuff are in there, but I've got now a vest with all my tools and equipment and chargers and stuff in it as well. So really looking forward to getting that content out. I've shot about 12 videos already, but the edit isn't where I want it to be yet. And they'll start rolling out on Thursday. next Thursday. So yeah, that's just a little bit about where I've been. And obviously here in Melbourne's been really good. We've had 60 something days of no COVID cases. And then only in the last 5 days, the cases have started to creep in. I can see Scotty's in there where he is in Sydney. There's been a breakout in the Northern Beaches area there. And then there's been some other issues. And then we've had some of it come back down to Melbourne where I am. So people are a little bit nervous about what's going on. And yeah, that's where we're at. The James Bond of Australia, I don't think so. But yeah, thanks ASE Skater. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I hope that, you know, I think for me, I would really jump into things. I'd do live streams and I'd just do whatever. And now I'm just taking the time to really think about what it is and make sure those that are sending boards or sending products or whatever are actually getting a good, high quality video that isn't just like everybody else's review videos out there anymore. You're going to see something that's super polished and well thought out, and it's like a world within itself. It's going to be quite cool. So yeah,
I think
enough
that's
talking
good.
about me. Yeah, I want to talk to you, Nelson, if I can. Do you remember how we caught up in Paris? Do you remember? Oh, sorry, in France at the
yes, we are one of the first ones there.
Yeah, man. Oh, the only one so far.
Yeah, we are the first ones to get there. The only guys who was there was just the team from it's electric. That was we are outside the gate. The gate was closed. The gate was closed.
Yeah, you rocked up. We were there, and we were just chatting out front.
And you are testing your drone.
That's right. I was trying to get that up in the air. Yeah. Good memory. What did you think about that whole experience?
I think that was the best experience of our lives. I think that the changed the way of us seeing the electro world community.
Totally.
It changed everything.
I mean, met you there, and everyone that I met there, you know, B-Boy Stretch, the Lazy Rolling team, caught up with obviously Jason Potter from what used to be Inertion. Everyone, the Tramper guys with Eamon and Kelly, you know, Nesto was there. It was just everyone
at the beginning. That was the beginning.
And even though people had opinions about each other, they just seemed to put it aside, and it was for the ride. And it was great.
Was fun. Was very fun.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
You see guys from Australia, America, Europe, all around Europe. You see guys from everywhere there, and we was about 100 to 200 persons there, and everybody was so happy. 3 days of fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the people that weren't happy were the people in the area, because we inundated that place. We ate all their baked goods. We sold out their restaurants.
We was the most of the time in this guy from Morocco, I think, from this I think from this restaurant director when in this street.
Yeah, that restaurant was wicked. It was so good. Everyone ordered the same thing, and the poor dude in the kitchen as well, trying to get it all out. It was good fun.
So let's talk about a little more. So I show you before. Now I'm going to show you. That was the first big video from you about 6 years ago, I think. Yes.
Wow, I thought I was only going for about like 4 or 5 years, but yeah, it must be 6 years now on YouTube.
Yeah, you're going to 6 years, and that was
amazing.
You're one of the first videos from you.
I remember shooting.
And
look at that, Gen 2.
This was the first one you have it. That was one of the first boards I have too.
Wowee.
That
Gen 2 was so good. I remember getting the GT. I rode on that for like 4 or 5 months, and then I still had the Gen 2, that big fat battery on the back, the single wheel motor. And I got back on it, and I was like, wow, I actually prefer this ride. It was just so much more of a surfer kind of ride, and the style was good. The remote was a bit funky, but yeah, I mean, that's really what Evolve got onto the into the mainstream, right? Was the Gen 2. They had 3 or 4 other ones before that, and you had the DIY guys that were kind of tinkering at that stuff, and but yeah, that really put them on the map.
Yeah, my question, when you started this, when you buy your first skateboard, you are vlogging. I think lots of people don't know in the site you start to vlogging I think lots of people think you started not so many years to do this abandoned houses, but you have four. Well, I see. I make the research. I think to have more than 4 years with abandoned houses and together with the skateboard. How everything started? How came these two ideas to that work so well?
Yeah, they were my two interests back then. And it all really started like with, Neistat. He was going around on a boosted board. I'm like, wow, that's such a good idea. And that's such a great way to get around. That was it. And then I looked at how much a boosted board would cost to get into Australia. And it was like $3,500. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that for my first board, which most people won't spend. And then, I went to, the like eBay, and I found an Evolve Gen 2, and I'm like, okay, I'll check out the Evolve website. Oh, these guys look legit. They're in Queensland. Good. I'll be able to get some decent support. So I think on eBay it was like $800 or something for this board from Sydney, I think it was. And so I paid for it, got down within 4 or 5 days, got on it. Funnily enough, I didn't like it at the start. I thought, oh my God, this thing's got too much power. And you look back now, and that power was just nothing compared to what we have today. And I got on the board, and I'm like, yeah, I could do this. I could hold up a camera and see what we could do. And back then it was a Canon 80D on a GorillaPod Pro, or whatever it was called back then, GorillaPod tripod, and didn't have any cool microphones or accessories or anything. Just started shooting. So no, it was really good. It was, and then from there, the abandoned buildings. I think the first one I did was a Brickworks factory. And I was so nervous and so scared, and I thought, there was going to be homeless people with needles jabbing me and stuff. But in all the years, that's never happened. Never ever happened. Never had. I found actually in an Explorer I did only 3 days ago, whole old council building was covered in needles everywhere, and luckily I was in thick boots, or else I probably wouldn't have gone in. It's so easy to get one of those stuck in your leg or something. And but no, you gotta be in it to win it and see what's going on. Yeah.
My other question is like this: how do you manage to? You lose. I know what is creating videos. I know how many time do you need. Lots of persons who don't do YouTube videos or channels, or don't have nothing. They think that is just make with a camera and put it in a internet and everything is going to work. I think that is lots of work behind. How do you manage to work with your videos and your family and everything? Because it's lots of work you have, and then you have a company and everything.
It takes a lot of time, and I think even the last 2.5 months or so that I've just not been really shooting. I've been watching a lot of other people's content, Scotty Davies, Daniel Kwan. There's a lot of other reviewers and stuff out there that are up and coming and doing really good things too. And then I saw, Moja's had that issue that he had his fire in his room and all that. And, oh man, just highs and lows all over the place. And even they're all talking in the chat about what's going on in the UK, all locked up. We've been through that. I know how that feels. It's terrible. But it's
a bad situation.
The thing for me is like time management, really, really figuring out chunks of time that you can dedicate and devote to things. Like if you try and do everything at once, it's never going to work. So for instance, I get up at 6, look after the kids, get to work by say 8 o'clock or so. Then I've got an hour. I can edit, I can shoot, I can do whatever I want, and work's in the city. So there's lots of paths, lots of tracks, lots of everything. Most of the time I'm editing before I start work. And it is my business, but I like to have, I like to be there, and I like to show that the team as well, I'm on their level. Start at 9, we do our stand-up session. If you don't know what a stand-up session is, it's part of like an agile methodology in project management. So everybody stands up in your office if you're all together, and you go around the room. Like, what did you guys do yesterday? Or what did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? Is there any roadblocks? Out you go, off you go. So it just means we don't have during the day people having to come up and ask, what are you doing? Or have you finished this or anything like that? It's just super simple. And then we know the next morning that they'll give us a report on what they were able to achieve the day before. Really easy. So that means like I can just bang, bang, bang out the work. And by 5:30, we finish at 5:30. I can either hang back for another half an hour or I go home. The wife loves to sleep, which is great. So she's in bed by 8:30 at night, and then I can stay up and do my edits. I can go shooting. And then on weekends, it's either going out on a group ride, which we haven't had many here in Melbourne, starting to grow in momentum now that some of the restrictions are lifted. Like for instance, we can go outside now. We can go anywhere in Melbourne or anywhere in Victoria at the moment. You don't have to wear a mask unless you're going indoors now. That only came out 3 or 4 days ago, which isn't a bad thing. We're all kind of used to wearing masks now. I've got a whole range of different colored masks, so everyone's just got, understands that's what we're doing. So I think, like for me, having a drastic change to the channel, new brand, new look, new storyline. I also have, just as a bit of a hint, an upcoming artificial intelligent sidekick as well. So this person actually feeds me a lot of the information, and you'll meet that person. The name is Bingo. So we'll see what you think. But yeah, it's gonna be good. And Bingo actually comes from Australian history. So I'll be explaining how I came up with the name Bingo. And so there's plenty going on. But that's the thing. I think when you're in a creative industry, and for me,
you have to innovate.
Yeah, exactly. And because my role right now is more project management, strategy, that kind of stuff, the creative stuff, I find like it just brews up inside of me and I have to do something. And that's where YouTube really takes over. I can really do things that I want to do and start exploring new things. And these days, all you need is a decent camera, some editing software. Like Scott Davies, who's listening at the moment, he does all his edits on an iPad, or he used to. I think he might have Final Cut Pro and an iPad Pro. I can't remember. But yeah, all the first edits, everything up until maybe 3 or 4 months ago, he was doing on an iPad, from what I know. So you don't need a lot. Like, and his edits are amazing, and his thumbnails are just insane. Like they're just so clickable. So yeah, you don't need to have all the expensive tools. You just have to have creativity and understand your audience and put what people want out there. I think that really comes down to it. Yeah,
good. Now I go to a new question. That is, you work with lots of brands, lots of companies, like lots.
You have done your research. Nice work.
Yeah, I don't want. I like to make. I think that is very important. What I'm trying to do here, I tell everyone here, I'm not a YouTuber like you. I'm like Tom, like Lee. I start this because I have an accident, and you know that I have an accident with my board, and I'm in home. I cannot work, and I say, okay, I think the people don't take so much attention about you or skaters or riders, and I'm going to make an interview to everyone. But I'm. It's not my. What can I say? Is not my perfection. I'm a cook. I love my job. I do this as fun.
What's your best dish?
I work with the Italian food from South French cuisine. On the I have so many different. I work with a lot of fish and meat. But
yeah, what's your favorite dish? What do you like to cook?
I like more. I like more. What's the name in English? I like more without no fat food, without vegetables, without grill or cook. I think the new generation from cooks, they change it the way of us to cooking, because you can make by vac. I don't know if it's the right word. Is this machine to suck everything? You put in
like a vac sealer, like
you put you cook like a fillet.
You suction it up into a plastic bag basically, and drop it in the water.
You put in the water is later. Before you make it. You make everything prepare with all the flavors, and then you put in the bag, and then you leave about 1 day or 2 days in the bag, close in this vac. Then it's going to come with all the flavors. Then when you put it out, you just have to what's the name in English? You just have to put it in a grill, and one side, the other side, you make the sauces, and then you're going to have all the flavors. My English is not so good in that.
No, you're doing very well.
When you come here to again to Europe, I can do something special for you.
Hell yeah!
I can try to do something special, but I think your time is not so. Let's go. all the brands you work, all of them, what was the best ones you have? You say, I love to work again with these guys. I love to do something with these companies. And what
So you're talking
company?
YouTube or my company? You're
YouTube,
talking
YouTube,
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube. It's like skateboards and everywhere. All the brands.
There's two that come to mind. Number one, Tramper. I know a lot of people have found them quite challenging and difficult to work with, and I know Ted, for instance, can be very what's the word?
Very special.
Brutal? Yeah, like, but I think because he's so loyal to his own brand, and like, for instance, I stayed at his house when I was there, and everything has a Tramper logo, even the kettle. Right, he's so focused on what he's doing. He converted his single car garage into this tool shed that he just tinkers at. Nobody knows about it. It's just his. No one goes into it. I had a look at it. Didn't mention anything, but everything's covered in Tramper. There's all kinds of stuff, and he's just tinkering. And that just shows like he's so dedicated to what he's doing. And especially what I found interesting too was because it was so cold when I was over there around this time now, it's freezing and you only get 6 or so hours of sunlight a day. When I walked into this garage, by the way, right on the bench was a pan of mincemeat, cooked mincemeat. And I'm like, aren't you going to put that in the fridge? And he's like, mate, what temperature do you think it is in this house? I'm like, good point. It's probably like 2 degrees. He's like, exactly. I don't have to put anything in the fridge. So he's just funny like that. And but yeah, the experience that I had when I was over there in the UK and going for the rides, and I know like they've been riding their boards for years and years and years, and then they get this guy that's never ridden a Tramper board before in, and it must be frustrating. They want to go fast, they want to do jumps, but they were so good at just teaching me and letting me know the ins and outs, and you know, having your feet strapped in too. Nice work with the video clip. Having your feet strapped in was just brand new to me, and going along the English canals there was so scary because when you think about it, you're strapped in, and if you accidentally trip or you hit a rock or something and you're in those canals, there's no way you're going to get those bindings off. There's no way that you're going to be able to do that, and you'd sink and you'd pretty much die. So, but those guys rip along, they're millimeters away from the edge, and I don't think they would care if that's the way they went because this is their life. This is what they do. So yeah, I'd love to go back, and we had discussions with Ted as well about getting back there soon and trying to get back before they brought out their batteries and all that kind of stuff. But obviously the world changed. The other one is Lazy Rolling. I just think they're so committed, such good guys, know what they're doing, got some very cool stuff coming out. I've got about 10 jackets. I know it's just off camera here, but just over there, and pants and stuff, and anything that they want us to try or they want us to look at is there. And yeah, they're part of the new brand as well. So there are some dedicated brands that are going to be a part of this new military kind of look and feel, and not in a big way. It's just the right people for the right location and suitability. ASE skater, mate, that's my biggest fear too, sinking with bindings. And I think anyone would feel that too. Like if you come off and you're on the side of a river, the last, like you take a big deep water or something. And you're done. Yeah, mate, sorry.
Do you know Ace Skater is one great YouTuber in UK? That is Amar.
He's awesome. His Instagram channel. Holy hell. Like every time I see something, I'm like, cool, I'm going to look at this. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's on track but yeah, ASE Skater, he's got some good stuff there.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. I think his YouTube channel is very, very good. But
I'm saying, there's a lot of people that have got this up and coming content that, you know, it's just a whole new different look. It's just taking things a little bit different, and that's what I'm wanting to do. That's why I think it's taking some time. I've got 4, 5, 6 brands that I've done reviews for, but the edit process for what I'm wanting to do here is so complicated. Pardon me, because I'm trying to do something different. It's just taking a bit of time to perfect that, but it'll be worth it. It'll be really worth it. Hopefully people like it.
I hope for you, my friend. I hope for you that everything works fine. And
Thank
that's
you,
what
sir.
we desire, all of us.
How are you feeling, by the way, Nelson? Are you, what, 90%, 80%?
No, I'm not okay. Maybe I'm going to come back. I speak with Lee. There is 2 months. My hand is not good.
Not
I
good,
have
no?
no. My hand, I cannot like this here. I can turn it, and this one, I cannot turn it. You see, my hand is
Wow.
not.
So you
That
fell
was
onto
very.
a hand?
Yeah, I fell out with my hand and my shoulder, and I broke my shoulder in one position that I find it close 1 month later. They don't find it that was broken. They try it because it was inside, and but the shoulder is okay, but the hand is not so nice. We have to see how everything works. If
Wow.
don't works till end of the month, I have to go again to the men who cut everything and put everything together. I don't know. I hope
Ouch.
not, because that is a bad situation. But we have to
Yeah.
think positive.
Is that
Uh,
your writing hand as well?
no, I have my, that's my luck. I am a guy from left hand.
Yeah, yeah.
That's then I have lucky that I have, but that was with my lacroix, and I was not so fast. But that was like a stupid situation for me. That is my failure. That was my mistake, because
Mm.
lacroix is like a machine. When you change the pulleys, I was with the 22 pulleys, and the 22 is for speed. And 2 days before, I changed it to the 18 pulleys.
Oh.
And do you know that how that works when that comes to a rotation?
Mm.
That makes like a brake, because you go to the limit of the speed, and the has come to the limit of the speed. That's what I think. That has come to the rotation of the wheels. The wheels has one rotation, and that comes is like make you a stop, and is like a brake
Just
for
slams
seconds.
on. Yeah.
Yes, and then throw you away. And I was used to have the 22, because I buy it from China, and then because I don't want no bubbles. And with the 22, you can go to about 65 with no problems. And
That's amazing speed as well. What were you going around that speed?
when I have the accident, I hit about 25 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
55, sorry, 55 kilometers. But that was so fast. I have lots of accidents in my life, but nothing compare to this situation. I always have accidents. That was I stand up on it. Was very, I was okay, and I know everything would happen. And
Mm.
this time that was so fast. I was so fast. I cannot describe it what happened. In the other accidents, I always tell you that was this, and this, and this, and this accident. I don't know nothing what happens.
I don't know if you can probably see that there.
Yeah,
So
that's what that is with you with your lacroix. I was asking about you.
no,
About that.
this came out today. This,
Okay.
and he came off right there, right?
Ooh.
Right. So this is the Eastgate. It was on Bay Area Eastgate, the Facebook
Yeah.
page there. That came out 6th of September, quite a while ago.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it was a similar thing. It was not that it slammed on those, like, it's just stopped. The fact was that they were riding hard for a long time, and I think the motors just become so hot and overheated that they stopped. They gave up, fused, and he's straight off.
Okay, maybe can be that. I don't have no explanation. I'm not a guy who want to put the fault in nobody. I know that when you go in these speeds, I was a stupid guy, because normally when I ride my lacroix, I always make this moto jacket, motocross jacket.
Good. Yeah.
And this day I leave everything in the car, and I say, okay, we just go for a small ride, and with the guys, and
Yeah.
we go
But that's
slow.
that's one of the big problems too, is that a lot of people think that if they're just going for a small ride, that I don't need to armor up, I don't need to wear my padding or gloves or
Yeah, but
whatever.
but normally I'm a guy who always wear everything. But this time, because we came too late, everybody was waiting for us, and everybody wants to ride. And I say, okay, we go slowly, because one of the guys I know, he drive always normally easy. He's not a fast guy. And I say, okay. And then they stop it, because one of the guys say, okay, I have to stop because I cannot feel my feet. And I say, okay, then wait a second. I'm going to tell to the other guys in ahead that we're going to make a stop. And then my thing is I was going up, and that's why I was not so speeding, and I tried to go a little more fast, and then happened. That I cannot explain now, but that is one sensation. I ride it motocross bikes, I ride it crazy cars, I ride everything, and I have lots of accidents, and that is one of the things. The guys, when they catch me, they ask me how that happened, and till today I cannot explain. That was so fast. That was.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember too. These things are very powerful,
Yeah.
but everything has its limits. Everything has its weak points, and that's where some of these things, like even the new LaCroix that they've got out there in Australia, it's cost about $10,000. But that thing is it's just crazy. And the new bio board's plutonium. You know, can get up to over 100 kilometers an hour, and
yeah, well, but
I think about you in hospital, and I think I've been to hospital. You know, I couldn't lift my baby boy for 6 months because I broke my elbow. It's okay now, but you know, you've got to say, look, this is you'll probably, as soon as you feel better and you're feeling more comfortable, you'll get back on a board because you love it. But
I'm every day in a board. Today I'm in a board.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But I use my protection. That was a stupid thing. The mistake was mine. If I use my protection, everything was better. I see your accident with the LaCroix too. When you was with the camera, nothing happened. But I think that was for you was a bad feeling.
It's an experience. Like I've had 2, maybe 3 major stacks now, and you know, if you're out riding every day, or if you're out bike riding every day, or whatever it is, you're going to have an injury. People come off them, and but the good thing is these things have got brakes, and you know, the technology, the batteries, all that kind of stuff is getting better and better every day. So I think if people just respect the fact that it is a very high-powered, risky endeavor, or vehicle, basically, you'll be all right.
Yeah. You see, Mark is a YouTuber too. He has the one LaCroix, and now he's saying the same thing.
I've done the same, Nelson. I always head up now, even if it's a short ride. I've learnt the hard way for sure. Yeah, everybody does. And you might have seen too, I can't remember where it was. They'll probably know in the chat too. There was a guy on a unicycle, an EUC, and he was going along in the dark, and he was on his phone. Someone was recording him backward, and he hit a bollard. Didn't see it, went straight into it. The whole thing smashed. His legs got really, really messed up. But, you know, these things happen, and you've just got to know that if you're going to be riding, that you're probably going to have an accident at some stage. So be protected.
You know that when you started, I started in the same time like you, maybe 1 year before, but I was always, I see you starting the first videos from you and everything, and I see the Fabi, I think was one of the first guys there, and you have to see the difference of speed, what you have today in one board, in one electric unicycle. They are crazy.
Oh,
you have this chairman. You go to 90 miles per hour, 90 kilometers per hour.
Yeah,
that's crazy. In one wheel.
Yeah.
And you know, electronic can always fail. Can always happen.
Just one thing. David Perry saying, when will it be more normal to wear motorcycle gear? I think it's becoming the normal. It's kind of like wearing a face mask these days around the world. Like, you just do it. People get used to it. You know, Lazy Rolling have brought out clothing that conceals it if you don't want to show it. But I think the more and more people show it, there's a guy called Mark that's in our group here in Melbourne, and he wears chest padding, elbows, shoulders, like everything. And most doctors that are out, that are, you know, their profession is some form of kind of doctor, they're all padded up. They've seen the worst, most horrific injuries. They don't want that to happen to themselves. So we've really got to look at the people who see what happens to people who have these kind of injuries. It doesn't take a lot to put on a jacket or some pants with some padding in it. But there's been so many times where it saved me going to the hospital. And
like me, I have lots of accidents. I have with my LaCroix 3 accidents, and that was very fast. One of them, I think, was about 71 kilometers, and I was testing to the limit of the board, and I changed to the pulleys of 24. I buy it from China, and I was trying to see the limit of the board, and then the back of the board start to and I lose the control, and I was out, but with the protection was no problem. It's just these small pains, but nothing happens. I have a special jacket to Moto GP jacket with everything, and I do the test. It's up for me because you have here in here the name is Terranova, is before military road, and you can go 5 kilometers always straight away, and you can make good tests. You can test it, but it's a stupid thing to make in a video. I don't make that in the videos because I think you don't need that to put for everybody. I test it for me, and I know what is the limit of the board. I think LaCroix is a board for you to go to 55, 50 kilometers is safe. Up 60 kilometers, you're going to lose the safety of this board.
I think too, like even when you drive a car for the first time, if you're learning, like when my mum taught me how to drive a car when I was like 17 or 16, whatever it was, she's like, we went on a straight, it was quiet. She's like, go as hard as you can and then brake as hard as you can. And you've got to know the limits of whatever you're driving. Same thing with this. Like you got to understand if you need to hit those brakes real hard, how does that feel? So that if you do have to do that, you're going to know how far back you need to stand or the amount of pressure you need to put on your front foot. So that, you know, if you are in a circumstance like that, that you're going to react in a way in which it's going to be as safe for you and the people around you as possible. There you go.
Yeah. My other question is till today, what was the best board you ride it and you love it to ride? And you say, I know that you have lots of boards.
Yeah, I should show you. I don't know if you can see much. If you go full screen.
Yeah, I'm going to put a full screen for you.
So you can probably see those wheels right there on the Beast board, which is coming up there, right there. Those things are insane. I've never ridden anything like it. And, you know, you squeeze the sides of them and they just come in. So the grip on the road is just phenomenal. Scott, who just left, he's got one of these too, and they're pretty amazing. But the go-to board that I always go for, like most of the time, I can get maybe an hour of my time. I'll always go for the tramper board. Just I know it's got power. I know that I've never had a battery issue or a disconnection issue with the remote. I always wear the bindings. I love to do the jumps now. I'm getting more and more confident with it. I don't know. It's just different. If I want to just do more of a playful ride, or if I'm commuting in the city, I'll use the one-wheel pint, just because it's a little bit more fun and it's playful. If it's within 4 or 5 Ks, then that's fine. Anything more, it becomes more of a pain in the ass. And then more of your, like I've just been playing around at the moment with the Metro Board X. That was received about 2 months ago. I've had one of our local battery makers here, Glyphs, make the battery. He's put that together. And I only started riding that about a week ago. And yeah, damn, it's just on another level. So yeah, there's different boards for different purposes, for different people, different price ranges, all that kind of stuff. But in here, there's probably, there's just under 50 electric skateboards probably in here.
I sell it. I was with 17 boards. I sell it. Now I have 9. And one of them is going to go to Moja. I'm going to give it to the guys.
Wow, that's really nice of you. Wow. Yeah.
I give it a one rock. Hey, everybody's listening. That is like this. We have to help this guy. Jay Can Moja, I Can Moja is a fantastic guy. He's a beautiful person. He's amazing person. If you can help it with something, he's needing help now because his house burned and everything, and all you can give €1, $1 is going to help him a lot. And is going to give Carve UK is giving gifts for everybody.
I
I'm
saw
giving
Lazy
a
Roll
board.
getting on board, and there's
Yeah,
a whole bunch of
Lazy
people.
Roll,
Yeah.
Lee. I think there is
Apex
too
Customs.
much. Yeah, I'm giving
No, it's
two,
really
and
good.
yeah, we have to stick together. And my other question is like this: what you prefer? I know that is different types. You prefer street wheels or off-road wheels today because you ride at the tramper?
Yeah. I just
What is?
find, I think in the last, say, year or so, I've been more inclined to go with all-terrain.
Yeah.
I know, you're not going to get as much range, but I find that, I like the concrete paths and all that kind of stuff, but I just love being able to rip out onto a grass field or go on cobblestones or whatever it is, and you just have a lot more freedom to go around using all-terrain wheels.
Yeah.
So yeah, like more of a hybrid as well with the Metroboard X. They've got the Tramper style wheels on there. They're low profile. They're not as big as the Tramper ones, so you get a bit of a feel, like it feels like a slightly street board, but it's got the versatility of an all-terrain, so that works really well. I'm just, if I can answer Mark's question here. Do you think people care about speed more these days over range? I prefer range for sure. I don't know. It's a personal preference.
A difficult question.
Yeah, like that's why I think we have so many people making skateboards, is because there's so many different needs that are out there too. Like I remember, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, everybody wanted to make sure that their battery was flight friendly. Now, who really cares about that? These kind of things come and go, but I'd say for me, it's not really about speed or range. It's about quality. Because it's all coming down to safety. It's coming down to longevity of your board and how long it's going to last, and even just little things like how you should store one of your skateboards. What charge should you store your board at, so that it's not going to destroy its cells and things like that. Yeah, good photo there.
Yeah.
But nice. Yeah, that's what I care about more. The range, as long as it goes over probably 20K range, can get up to about the 50K mark. I think that without fishy tailing, I think that's probably a decent board. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it too. And the other question, what you like more, night or day to ride?
Oh,
I like night.
I don't know. I like the thrill of night. You're not quite sure what's going to jump out at you, and I love, getting those shred lights. I've got 2 on my helmet, 4 on the board, just light up the whole park or wherever you're at. And just, it's cold and it's edgy and it feels good. But then at the same time, I like going out on like a high performance board and ripping through and going past old ladies and scaring them. And, you got your full face mask on and they don't know who you are. You're pretty daunting to them. So no, it's good fun. Yeah, you've got some good photos there.
Yeah, I have everything here for you, my friend. I think you are a special person in the community, and I think everybody treat you very bad in the last time. And I hope that I can help to change a little more, because
I appreciate that. We'll hang on for a bit more. I've got another 15 or so minutes. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's move faster than we can, because I have so many questions to prepare for you, but I think we're not going to.
We'll keep going until I get a message from the wife to come inside.
No, my friend. We're going to. I'm going to try to be faster. I'm going to go fast to this one thing. I don't want to go too much to this matter. The Rosie case, the experience for you, change your way of doing YouTube videos, because I think that was the best experience of your life in viewers, because you have so the question is how that changed, because when you see, I think you have more than you have millions of views, guys who see this video from you, and Do you see it today? The YouTube just like a skate electro, or you are thinking, okay, I can do another things? I think there is viewers enough who are interested in other things.
Yeah, so when I first started, it was mostly like vlogging.
Yeah.
It was called Boston Vlogs back in the day, and some people still give me a bit of beef about that in a funny way. People used to say Boston Vlogs. But anyway, so then I decided, I'll focus in on just two main things, which was the abandoned building stuff and the electric skateboarding stuff. But then, like Rosie the Shark, which ASC Skater just wrote there too. Rosie the Shark was a bit of an interesting one because we explored that particular place, and everybody found this dead shark, and then we went and had a look at it, and we put our videos up. And actually, no, I didn't put my video up back then, but a lot of the friends that I was in the circle, they put their videos up, and then it started to get all this momentum, and I'm like, I'll put my video up too so people can go and learn something else about this shark. And it just went absolutely crazy, like crazy. And I mean, you got to strike while the iron's hot. And then a lot of the other explorers, we did live chats and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes you just have to ride the wave. And I think that might be, no, that's not the one.
This is not
one of them, it's called The Story of Rosie the Shark. I think it's got like 6 million views.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's by far the most popular. And from a monetization, that brought through a serious amount of monetization too, which was nice at the time. And that money, that money was then reinvested into what you can see here. I've got 3 Canon 80Ds, lenses, better mics, an eGPU, a ProSonus mic setup. Thanks to Danny Black, who's still watching. Thanks for all that, Danny. He gave us all the ideas. And you can see there, how many views has that got now? I haven't checked for a while.
You are 5 million 230.
Yeah, so that's by far my biggest video. And then there was some other abandoned ones that got really big too. But you'll probably notice too, the abandoned stuff probably outweighs
do you have the Bennett stuff? I see it. The Bennett houses and mansions. You have lots of views. There's
plenty of views there, but I find too that the electric skateboarding stuff there's more community there. The community's actually tighter, more appreciative, nicer. It's more of a worldwide thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of people are super keen on all the abandoned stuff, and that's why that continues on. And some of the things that we've seen recently, like I was saying, like needles at a council hall or big mansions that we've been to recently. There's so much still cool stuff coming out on the channel. Can't wait for it. But I just decided to put my effort into those areas, and potentially, it might go into other areas. I started looking at gaming, like Call of Duty, and realized I suck at it, and it's going to take me years to get to a point where people would want to watch what I'm doing. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, but I'll probably play that in my spare time if I have any. And then there's huge business opportunities this year that have come up, and it's just going to be a busy 2021. And I want to just focus in on the things. Like for me, YouTube is not work. It's always a hobby, and luckily it's a paid hobby, or else the wife wouldn't give me so many hours to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, my friend, I think that is perfect for you, because you work so much, you have to be paid.
Yeah, and you want to, for me, it's not even about getting paid. It's to have a place that I can be creative, that I can meet people. I've met hundreds of amazing people, just like yourself, Nelson, like Moja, like Lee Wright, like Ted from Tramper, like David from Lazy Roll. Like, there's so many of them that.
Jason, you have to always think like this. Maybe you're not going to win nothing, but to pay the bills, you have to pay for your cameras, for your everything is lots of money you have to put there. Is always something broken. Is always when you go riding, a camera goes, and I have my 360. I broke it. I have to put a new glass. The new glass is so expensive, like the camera
lenses are $400-$500, like for the ones that you need.
That's why
lighting, overhead rigs, like it's just
it's
expensive.
money,
And, I I think, yeah, those that appreciate it love it. And then the next couple of months, there'll be a membership option for the channel. There's going to be an online store in the next couple of months. That's going to be really cool, by the way. A whole bunch of brands coming together. It'll be one online store. And then as soon as you place the order on the store, my store, it actually gets fulfilled by the store directly. It's just, I send their money, I send the order details, they ship it themselves. But you do get a bit of a nice discount. So rather than having coupon codes, you can go to this website where you can enter in, like, it's got a wizard on it. What kind of ride style are you thinking? Whereabouts do you live? What kind of roads are you going to be on? What kind of range are you thinking? What kind of budget have you got? Like those kind of things. And it'll just filter it down to say, here's the top 3 options I recommend. Here's the reviews for you if you want to watch them. You don't have to. Click here to buy. It's that simple. And there's 4 or 5 brands that are committed. And it's about getting some other brands on there first and setting it up so that it makes it a very easy way for someone to either start or upgrade their experience. And it's not just electric skateboards. It might be what is for now. But I'm looking at EUCs, looking at bikes, looking at a bunch of stuff. So you might have seen recently on the Super 73s, we're trying to get those on there at the moment. But just doing it in a way, like that's my whole thing for 2021 is just don't be like everybody else. Like do something that really makes a difference. That looks like I'm about to.
That is the Kelly board.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was amazing. That's in Paris. That's where Leonardo DiCaprio was, not on that day, but do you remember in that movie Inception? Yeah, where he was moving the mirrors and all that. Yeah, so that was pretty cool that day.
What do you think the difference to ride a Kelly and ride a Tramper?
That's an interesting question because I know there was a bit of a feud between Ernesto and Ted at It's Electric 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember hearing the start of it and a whole bunch of us just went, let's walk away. Let's just let them have their conversation privately. And everyone was quite respectful. Well, obviously my difference is that on a Kelly, and I know you can do it, most people don't, is they don't have bindings. On Trampers they do. And then the boxes are in a little bit of a different position, the battery boxes, etc. But for me, they're not.
It's a different board.
They're different, but the ride style for me was very similar.
Yeah,
like really similar.
Okay,
yeah.
Because the deck is close. Yeah, I ride the 2 of them. I think what is my idea? I think the boards from Ernesto is like you have this taste more of a street board.
Well, it's not really meant to be all-terrain, really, Ernesto's boards. And where he rides them, it's all street.
And then when I put my feet in one Tramper, when you put your feet there, you feel I have to go off-road. I don't. That is not a board for street.
No, and where the boys took me as well, the Tramper boys up in Nottingham too, it was sludge, mud. It was just awesome. Ripping, like as soon as you start accelerating, you've just completely covered the guy behind you in mud. And it was good stuff. Good muddy stuff. And I don't think, you'd want to dirty up like a LaCroix, for instance, even though it's considered all-terrain, or a Kelly. I think they're just pretty boards. They're probably not made for the serious all-terrain stuff. That's where sometimes, like even the Evolve skateboards, although they are all-terrain, they're not all-terrain. You know what I mean? You can do grass, you can do some gravel, you can do some cool, but not mud. You can't do grime. Yeah, you probably, like I did, you can take the Bamboo GT through those incredible French caves and stuff, but it's not really built for it.
No. It's not built for that. Everything. I think everything is like when you talk about a barra board. Is everything totally different. You cannot compare with
the ultimate all-terrain machine. And although some people do ride it on the street, it stands out. It's like dog's balls, basically. Like it just doesn't seem right. And you're going to get pulled over. I mean, I did a video quite a while back about sitting out the front of a police. The Central Police Station in Melbourne with that Baja board and circling around cops and stuff, and they just didn't say anything. I thought, I'm going to get pulled over and asked, they couldn't care less. It is interesting.
Let me.
What?
I
like that. Yeah, I think that term is actually a good term there, urban terrain. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's obviously not your forests, it's not your farms and things like that, that you need some serious, or forests, for instance, that you need some serious all-terrain. What do they call them? They've got another word, like mountain boards. That's it. I think that's
Yeah.
really what the tramper style are.
That is off-road. They use it
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
They use it more here. Is off-road boards,
You
but
think about urban terrain, it's like your grass and your gravel.
yeah,
That's pretty much it. Yeah, which makes
I
sense.
see. I see your videos with the guys with Trumper, and that was like insane. The 3 days for you. I
It was
think that
such a
was
good
a crazy
experience.
experience.
Yeah, that the boys were
I
even
was jealous of you. I was very jealous of you.
well, funny. They're
You and
actually
you and
thinking,
Lee. You and Lee.
yeah, I think they're thinking, and they haven't put the details together yet, but putting together packages where people can experience that. You know, go away with the crew, drink with them, ride with them, and just have an amazing time. There was so much stuff that happened off camera there that I was laughing and smiling so much that my jaw was sore. Um, and it was just the best experience, the best bunch of boys, and they all bring something to the table.
They are
Yeah, couldn't
funny
do it
guys,
without it. Yeah, absolutely.
and they always have to have a nice beer in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, there's even guys here in Melbourne. One of them, Chris, that I've just been to Surfers Paradise in Queensland on the Gold Coast. He drinks whenever he rides. You know, he's always got a Jack and Coke can in his pocket or whatever, and each to their own. I mean, everybody understands the rules. It's for, rules there, I guess, to be broken sometimes, but he understands. Look, if he's gonna, he never gets inebriated, never gets drunk as a skunk, but yeah, you just have to, I guess, skate within your own means. Even Glyphs as well. He can down a slab a day. It's just I've never seen anything like it, and he can just do it, and he's a skinny guy, and he just puts them away. So yeah, no, it's good.
Tell me something that is a very important thing here in Europe. We have the problem yet in UK, Germany, Holland, Netherlands. How is the laws in your country?
Gray zone. That's all we work within.
No, to electro skateboards and everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, for instance, there are a stack of scooters. I think every, say, 3 months, they've doubled the amount of scooters here in Melbourne, getting around the city. If I, for instance, stopped at a coffee shop just in the city, and I stopped for, say, half an hour, I'd probably see 20 or so scooters go past, maybe 2 skateboards. So there's a lot of it going on, a lot of interest in bikes as well. So I think I don't think it's going away, and it's kind of like when Uber hit here in Australia.
But it's legal or
ban it. What's that?
Is legal or is not legal?
No, it's not. It's not legal. It's not yet.
For instance, no law.
Well, it's state by state. So, for instance, on the Gold Coast, it's legal up there. You can ride up to 25 k's an hour. If you're caught doing more than that, then you're in a bit of trouble. I've heard as well in Singapore that if the same law applies there in Singapore, but if you are over that, or your actual skateboard can go faster than 25 k's, it hasn't got a limiter or anything on it, that they'll take it from you. It's gone, confiscated, the whole board. So yeah, some people are more serious, but here in Melbourne, for instance, it is illegal. But so is a lot of things. Jaywalking's illegal here. But I think if you have your common sense, if you have your respect about you, if you're going slow around people and speed up when no one's around, I skateboard almost every day. Never had a police officer come to me and give me a fine. They've definitely come to me in their uniforms asking where they get one, where can I buy one, but not to tell me, get a fine or anything. Oh, ACT are now legal as well with a bunch of rules. Thanks, Scotty. So yeah, I think this year apparently is the year that this kind of legislation will be out in Australia, especially with COVID and everything. People want to get around without having to cram into coffin-like train carriages and buses and things like that. So I think bikes, skateboards, anything with motors on it basically will need to be legalized with some rules on it. Even if, for instance, there's some kind of registration, I think that'd be fine. If it's $50 a year and you get your name, or there's a QR code on your skateboard somewhere that you have to display, so it has a history of the skateboard or the person riding, I think that would be quite cool. Yeah.
There's another question there for you. That is has Jay Boston ever done short track race?
Like in a partly, no, I know what you're talking about, but it is something that we've tried to do as part of our community. So we've got, I want to be right. I'm not sure. I think it's around 1,000, maybe more. I think it's more. Registered skateboarders on our Electric Riders Melbourne club. And where was I going with this? I lost track. And yeah, like I think if we had like no one really has had any issues because we're pretty respectful with the laws. I can't remember what I was talking about, to be honest.
Here in Germany, it's very bad, my friend. He's going to go a guy in jail.
What?
Yes, he's going to go in jail. I make the interview last week to the guy. He's going to go 3 months in jail.
Did he hit somebody on a skateboard?
No. He was catched 4 times by the police riding a electric unicycle. He goes to court, and the first time he don't have nothing to pay. The second time you have to pay 70 euros, and then the second time you have to give to a charity 510 euros, and then the fourth time the judge said, if you don't learn it, now we're going to send you to jail for 3 months.
So what law is he breaking?
He's breaking the law that here in Germany, when you drive with a motor. When you drive something with motor, you have to have registration. You have to have no, not the registration. You have to have insurance. If you don't have no insurance, you cannot ride it. That's the law in Germany. There is no law you cannot ride an electro skateboard, but there is the other law: you cannot ride a vehicle with motor without insurance. It's the same thing. It's like it's no law against you to not drive it, but there is a law: if you don't have no insurance, then you cannot drive it. You have to be insured.
I think we're the same here. I mean, I'm rarely on roads. It's mostly bike tracks, paths, things like that. But yeah, it's considered not you're driving a non-registered motor vehicle without insurance. And if the police officer, mostly it's the older coppers that or police that want to fine you, they can fine you up to about 2,000 Australian dollars on the spot. Okay. So non-registered motor vehicle, then you've got without insurance. If you're not wearing a helmet, there's another one. So yeah, but most, like, I ride straight past the police. I don't try and, ride around them or anything because it just makes you look like you're trying to get away. But I'll ride straight past them, and they'll look at it, and they'll look at me, and they'll be like, he's not doing anything worth getting pulled over about.
I always do like pushing.
Oh, good idea. Pretend there's no motors on the back.
Yeah, I always do like pushing, and then that was one police who tell me, why you are so stupid, guys? Just pushing. Then nobody can tell that is with the motor, but in the moment you are pushing.
Yeah.
Then it's not electric. Yeah, that is one of the ideas. Then we go fast to another one. Dope grip tape. What do you think about it?
I like it.
Dope.
I'm converting my Baja G4 into something that's going to be pretty cool. It's got the kitty card on the back, but it's new colors and everything. I find it is more expensive than the others, but I've got it on that, and yeah, I can definitely, I'd hate to call it carving on a Baja board because it's not really, it's just turning. I find that it's a much easier way to do it. Your feet are really solid and stuck down there because it kind of has this memory foam kind of feel. Yeah, like you feel grippy quite snug. Soft. It's kind of like if you have a flat deck versus a concave deck, it feels like when you put that stuff on a flat deck, it becomes a concave deck. So I like it. I think it's quite good. If I had to compare that to like your standard Meepo kind of grip tape or something like that, I'd whack this stuff straight on it. Even Check 2000, who was in right at the start, I don't know if he's still listening or watching, I gave him a bunch of that. He won it as part of a live stream, and he loves it. He's got it on, I don't know, I can't remember. I think he got an X-Way. But yeah, he's loving it.
Yeah, the other thing I'm asking because I'm always try to ask in the channel companies who help us a lot. Lazy Rollings, fantastic guys. What do you think about them?
box in here. Yep.
You work a lot with them. I'm going to have here lazy rollings next month, and I
Nice.
think Dave and the guys, they are fantastic. What
They're a great
is
bunch of
your
guys.
opinion and the
Yeah,
product? Because you have lots of products from him. You can tell everything for the guys for your experience.
you probably do the same thing. You'll find that this stream will probably go for an hour once we're finished. Oh, it's over an hour now. But you'll find that you've probably spent many hours, like I know you've done, doing the research, and we've communicated about it lots. And this has been something for months that you've been putting together. There's so much stuff now, even with Daniel from Lazy Roller, he spends so much time just making sure that you're okay, you understand the product, that if there's anything that he could do, or if you know, like I'm like, yeah, I'd love to get one of your hats, your armored hats. Where is it? One of these, because it'll suit my brand. And he's like, done, I'll send it to you. So it's just nice. And then you chat about some of the issues that they have, or some of the problems with some people, like returning things because there's a scratch on the inside of the jacket, and you're just like, come on, really? Like, you've got this amazing jacket and you're going to scratch it anyway. So why would you just make such an effort out of something that didn't have to be there? So it's just hearing everyone's frustrations and hearing some of the things that go on with orders. It's insane. So, and even now, like you've got a really good bunch of people that are watching. No one's really been negative. It's a community that's quite positive, and I think that's what I'm trying to do on my part, is transition it across to be like, let's just not worry about all.
I block it direct out from here. I'm going to block it. I don't want negative. I think you can say you can put your mind here for us, but you have to respect the other person in the other side. You do your job, I do my job, and we just want to have fun. We don't want to be
like I'm even just reading Nullbox's comment about how someone was using medical marijuana. They were ambassador for lazy rolling. You've got to. Every brand has its policies. Every business, like, even though we know it's just Robin and Daniel that are running the show, but they've got their family to think about, or families. They've got their manufacturing that they get done, and they just have certain things that they believe are as part of their brand. If they don't want to see someone smoking a blunt in the lazy rolling gear, that's up to them. And if that guy, for instance, I can't remember what his name was, the ambassador, if he wants to buy a lazy rolling jacket and continue doing what he's doing, there's no harm in that. He can do that. There's no problem. But I think it's just merely Daniel and Robin wanting to set a good example. And even if it is medical marijuana, that's cool. But, you know, I'm not going to be dropping Panadol pills on my videos or anything. You know, I'm not trying to be mean or rude or crude, but I think they've just made a decision in the interests of their business, and it's up to them to do it. And even going back, some of the things that some brands have done, I've done, everyone does things wrong.
Everyone makes mistakes, my friend, and we do mistakes, we learn. That's why we are here.
That's right.
I speak with you. I speak with you before about the tema from this X-Way. I give you my opinion. You answer me. The tema was finished. I don't disrespect you. I understand you. You understand me, and that was over. We have to go to the next chapter. Next.
Chapter.
The other question, my friend. Do you think Tesla is going to be the future for our boards? Because I see you here.
Yeah, with my 10 chins. Okay, so for me,
for us as skaters, because I listened something that they're going to make batteries, maybe for us.
I know that they're making batteries. That's the gigafactories that they've got going on, and they're going to be made out of, I can't remember the material. It's in your grey lead pencil, for instance. Like it's something that's readily available. It's going to charge within like a minute to charge your board. It's going to be phenomenal, right? And this is meant to be coming out in the next couple of years. They're doing all the testing and all that at the moment. So it's not going to be lithium. It's going to be a whole new type of cell. And I'm really excited about that. I think that's really going to change the way people buy cars. And once the price of this new battery becomes a lot more economical, I think that's when it'll probably come down to the electric skateboard scene. I don't think it's going to be there anytime soon. They're going to definitely put it into electric vehicles like cars and trucks and things. And I think that's why Tesla's waiting a little bit on their trucks. They haven't launched those yet because I think that they know from a cost point of view that it's going to be better for them to wait for these batteries before they start putting those orders out. That's just an assumption. That's just my theory. It's nothing I've read, but I think things are going to have to change, especially mobile phones. Like the amount of times I'm charging my phone during the day because I'm using it for a whole bunch of different things. Imagine if you could just do a fast charge, takes a minute, fully charge for a full day. That'd be pretty amazing.
That would be good for us, all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay Boston, I see you in a bad bike. The Batman bike. What was that for? Bat bike. I think that is the right name. This year, my friend.
Oh yeah! Wow, I didn't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I never rode it, but this was at an electric.
The Sensation.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, someone tried to redo the Bat bike or whatever it was called, and
what is this? This is in Australia.
This was in
electro. I don't know. Electro that everybody bring.
So Baja, I think, were there. They had a whole range of different stuff. That's Michelle from Baja. Oh no, that's my wife.
That's what I know. That's your wife, my friend.
So there was a whole bunch of different things going on there. We had an Electric Riders Melbourne stand there as well, just giving out stickers and letting people know about the movement. By the way, Noel Box, 100%, like there's two sides to every story. I'm just having a look at how Bam Margera, he was smoking stuff and it actually helped them. And you even look at things like porn stars, the show from Las Vegas. You got what's his name? There's just a whole bunch of drop kicks in that, but it works for them. So again, like it's up to, I guess, Lazy Rolling to choose who they want to work with. It's really up to them. And some people it'll get under their skin, but that's just a choice that they've made. Yep. Like the thongs on the bat. Yeah, I was wearing thongs on that day because I didn't have too much time. My wife and I, we just stayed at, I'm remembering now, we just stayed at a hotel for the last time before our son was born. And we decided just to go past that on the way there. But what we were talking about, sorry.
About the bad bike.
Oh, the bat bike. Yeah. So everyone was able to sit on it. The guy who built it, that was the guy that was showing me. He later on that day took it around the track, the go-kart track there too. And
that works. I was thinking that don't work. I think that was just a prototype.
It is. No, it doesn't have flamethrowers or any of that stuff. It does work. It does work, but it goes slow. It's not fast.
Okay. Jay Boston, what was the interview that make you was fantastic for you, that you say that was one of the best interviews I make in my life, or the best video I make in my life that I always going to remember in a electro?
It's funny, like I've made, I think it's almost close to 900 videos on YouTube now. And
but there's always a special one.
Yeah, I find,
or maybe someone.
See, 99% of the time you'll create a video, you'll upload it, you'll never watch it again. You just let people watch it. But there are some of those videos that you'll continue to rewatch and you'll love. The Tramper series for me was pretty up there. I continued to go back and have a laugh and just watch that stuff because on those videos, it wasn't much of me talking. It was mostly the experience that I had. And I thought that was pretty amazing. You've got some great questions here. I should have really planned.
If you don't have no time, you can make it another time, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head, but like 99% of the videos I'll upload and they're out, and I don't watch ever again. But some of them, I do go back and watch. It's funny, the trailer one that I made and put online only a few days ago, I've watched quite a fair few times, just because it's different. and I just wanted to make sure I'd hit the right spot. It had the right emotion. It wasn't meant to be funny. Some people thought it was funny, but yeah, it's like coming back and being different. I think that's what's my plan for the year.
Now, asking the question, electric unicycle. Do you can ride it now or not?
Nope. I tried for hours and hours and hours and couldn't do it. I could get maybe 15 meters and I'd fall off. So not for me. Maybe I just need some right teaching.
I give you a small tip. I tried 3 days. I was like so upset because my foot was very hurt, and from one day to another day, one person tell me in Belgic wheelers. I was there with the guys, and he gave me a tip. You just have to give the hand to another person, and go the first 400 meters with this person in your hand to hand, and then your head is going to that is like your head is going to say, okay, you have the balance. Then 5 minutes later you start to
I think that's it. It's, I was at a football ground and I was going along the fence line, so I was holding onto the fence, but that's probably not the best idea because you grip it and you turn, you adjust. Yeah.
I listened to the guys in Lee was there too. Lee has tried it in this Belgic one wheels. They are fantastic guys, and I see how the man explain me. He say if you go and you go to a wall or something like that, you're going to always not to be right. You're going to be like to the side. You have with the hand. You're always going to be straight away, and you. In 5 minutes, you're going to learn. Today, I can ride it. I try it with my doctor. My doctor give me his hand, and 5 minutes later, I can ride. Not so fast like the other guys, but I can ride it. That is a very fun.
Well done. I mean, for me,
I think you can do it, and it's a fantastic thing.
You know, it really sucks, right? Because there's a whole bunch of guys, developers and designers and stuff that work for us, and I'm trying down this hallway at work. And one of the guys that works for us, he's German as well. He gets on it. He's like, never done it before. Straight on it, around corner. I'm like, you asshole. It does happen though. Like some people just can get on a device and go for it. They're done. It's kind of like 6-year-old kids that have no fear. You know, they just get on and straight down a snow mountain. You know, it's just crazy. But yeah, I think the more older I'm getting, the more delicate I'm feeling. And that's one, like someone was asking, what's my New Year's resolution for this year? It's obviously to be different, and not the Steve Jobs different. It's more try and really adjust what I'm doing, and to not be like everybody else, I guess. I mean, it is different, and the other side of it is I need to lose some serious weight.
Yeah, me too, my friend. Me too.
Yeah, like this COVID weight, it's all over the place, and got the spare tire around my waist. I got the man boobs happening, and so I've been running and on the bike and a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully people will notice over the next couple of months. Not drink as much.
Can I ask you something? What is your age?
My age? I am 38.
Huh?
38.
Okay.
No, 38.
You're 38. Okay.
Yeah.
You are young. You are very young.
Not in a midlife crisis way.
I think you have to go, my friend, and I don't want to be in your way. I have lots of questions.
We'll give it another. What is it now? We'll make it until 9:30, so like another 9 minutes or so if cool,
okay.
And then
I'm going to. Okay. Okay. One wheels. One wheels. What do you think? You have a nice experience. You have a bad experience too, because I think that is
bad experience. I know a lot of people have had bad experiences, and there's actually a law firm in the States that have put together a class action lawsuit against One Wheel, or they're just about to, because of the amount of issues. The wife's just messaging me. The amount of issues that have had, dead stops and braking and a whole bunch of different things, which is quite scary. I don't know if it's going to actually happen, but I've heard through the grapevine that there's a lot of customers of One Wheel that have been contacted. I haven't been contacted yet, but just that I think puts a dampener on the brand. But from the people that have one wheels, ride them properly, don't abuse them, no problems. I'd like to see all the one wheels out there. They're doing tricks where they jump from, like one level to another. That seems to be okay. I mean, you're really abusing a one wheel if you're doing that stuff. But again, one wheel do that stuff in their promotional video. So, hey, you should be able to do it. But yeah, like I don't see a one wheel as a long range computer. It's more for fun.
But you have here guys here in Germany. They created now the battery for 45 kilometers. You have a range of 45.
People are starting to mess with the one wheels, and I'm not even quite sure if that's suitable.
Yeah. It's too much.
I mean, there's also a version of the one wheel software is now open source. People have been trying to do the one wheel themselves, put it together.
Yeah.
Some people are having a lot of problems, but a lot of people are also finding that it's working okay. But like, I don't think I would get on a DIY one wheel.
No.
Anytime soon. No. How about yourself?
Yeah. No, me not. And I have before I was with Wishes with the sensor. Now a guy to take care of that problem, and every time I was having this nosedive, and that is a bad sensation in a one wheel when you have this nosedive. Because
well, I think before the battery starts to die, the one wheel tries to tell you through. It increases its.
That is the pushback.
The nose ramps up a bit. Yeah. And I had no idea what that was. So I kept going.
Like me. I have an accident.
It's gone into surf mode or something. Like it was.
I crashed like that.
Well, luckily I didn't, because I think I got to where I was going and put the charger in, and I'm like, this is charging a long time, and it must have been that. But luckily.
Like me, I was pushing back, and I say, hey, I want to go fast, and then one moment to the other, that the sensor disactivate, makes the nosedive, and then boom, I was
straight off.
Because when the sensors tell you they make the pushback, or are you in a limit of the are you in a limit from the battery, or are you in a limit of the speed? That has a speed that the sensor works, and if you go faster, the sensor is going to give up.
Exactly. I mean, I think they're warning type, or shouldn't just be a nose raising. The light at the bottom should be blinking, or there should be a little beep 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 beep, something like that to say.
It's like the unicycle. You let the unicycle has with the beep beep beep.
Yeah, I mean, even like the LaCroix, like we were talking about that before. If those motors are about to fry, they should warn you. There should be a warning that the remote should be like vibrating like crazy, or the board should just gracefully slow down. Something along those lines would be really, really good.
I think too, my friend. So I just going to make you the last question. What do you like for the year of 21, when the COVID is? We don't have no more COVID. I hope that this year is going to be
the vaccine will hopefully be out, and hopefully they work. But I was talking to some friends today too. One of them's a senior nurse at a hospital here in Melbourne, and he's saying even though the vaccines will be there'll be a lot of people obviously that won't use the vaccine. There's a lot of people that have got that are allergic to certain things as well that won't be able to have it. So it's not like it's going to be eradicated. It's still going to be around. We just have to manage it. We still have to accept that this is going to be something like the flu that is going to be around forever. But I think, for me, I've experienced in the last couple of months anyway what it's like to have no COVID here. Like masks are off and everything. We still have to wear masks in large supermarkets, shopping malls, things like that. I think it's here to stay for a bit. I think we just have to get used to it. Looking forward to just appreciating life a lot more, about getting families connected, about being able to travel, hopefully open up the borders a little bit more. I don't know if a lot of people will travel interstate or internationally for fear of catching something or not being able to get home For instance, like if you try and get into Melbourne at the moment, you've got to do a 2-week paid quarantine. It costs you $3,500 Australian dollars to be stuck in a hotel for 2 weeks. And yeah, that's not something that a lot of people can afford or want to do. So but that's what life is now. I don't think it's going to be the same where you can just book a flight maybe to New York or off to Germany or something and go the next day and, not have to wear masks on a plane, eat whatever you want, go out and lick each other's faces at clubs or whatever, those young people do. Like that just won't happen anymore. It's going to be a whole new world, but I think it's just one we're going to have to get used to. Don't know why I said faces, but some kids do it.
Do you think you're going to come if this COVID is going away? Do you think you're going to visit us here again in Europe this year?
Without a doubt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had a plan to go to America and do from west to east. Is that right? Yep. On a bus, like a coach, full of beds, boards underneath in the luggage area with your luggage. Up top, you're sleeping. Someone drives through the night, get to another location, skateboard all day, ride again, group rides all planned. That would be
because that we're going to have here Chris and Cedric in 9th of January. They're going to come here with us. Maybe they're going to make electro. It's electric again if the COVID is away. And then you're going to have from Involve in Germany the World Cup.
Yeah, the one they were going to have last year.
Yes, last year, and that don't happen. And they're going to do it maybe this year if everything is okay. We never know.
Cool things happening at Evolve too this year. Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, I think there is going to be lots of things new for all of us, but we have to wait if this COVID is going to go out or not. If they're going to leave us or no. I hope that this vaccine helps the people all around the world. And my friend, I want to thank everybody who sent the messages. I think that was my interview that we cannot answer all the questions for everyone.
We'll do another one. That was good fun.
Yeah, that was very good. I have lots of questions. I have lots of guys who see they make so many questions. But thank you a lot to spending a little more time with us. I hope that 21 will be a great year for you and your family and your friends. I hope that
your hand feels better soon, mate. And I was reading all the comments there. I'll have to organize some street races and all that here in Melbourne. I'm sure people will be up for it.
Let's do just the last words from you. What you want to say to the people? For me, from my side, I thank you very much, my friend. I hope that you are safe and lots of success for the future. And maybe we can see again in another broadcast, or maybe we can meet again in Europe this year. Who knows?
Wait. Oh, as soon as the borders open and Germany's got 0 cases, I'll be there in a flash. But yeah, appreciate it, Nelson. I've seen all your other streams that you've been putting together, and yeah, you're doing a great job, and they seem to be improving. And your questions are really good. Your research is great. And look, I think you and I both have the same mission, aim, I guess, as well, just to keep this community positive, pumping, proactive, safe, that kind of thing. I think that's really what it just comes down to. And the joy of the ride. Like sometimes recently I've just spent 2 months riding. I haven't had a camera in my hand. I haven't had to think about what I was doing, just enjoying the moment and getting out of work and going for a ride. Even if it's for 15 minutes, it just clears your head and you can just get back.
You need a little time for you and your family, my friend, and for you to everything to start work again and new ideas and everything.
Yeah.
That was good for you.
It's amazing. Yep.
Okay, my friend. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And we see us. Bye-bye. And we go out of live.